man, I wonder what the heck is going on with Brakus. I wonder what's going on with Brakus. And I was able to I was able to get Brockus's contact information. I asked him for an interview. He was, he was like, "No, I'm sorry, I'm not in." He's like, "Thanks for contacting me. I'm not interested." So I kept pushing, as the journalist that I am. I kept pushing. I was like, "Okay, well, I got a set of questions for you. At least let's do an interview of some sort, so we can get something up, about just your current whereabouts." And I was thinking in my head, like, I don't want finding him to go in vain. I want to at least get something out of it. And so I got a lot out of it, actually. So I sent him a set of questions. I texted him a set of questions, and he answered it back to me. He asked for my email. We were texting back and forth for a while. He asked for my email address, and he emailed me back a lot. A lot. So I asked him these 5 questions. All right. So, number 1, Bruce Pritchard stated in one of his podcasts that Vince McMahon made you an offer because you, quote, had a unique look and he was German. He spoke German, and we were looking to do a lot more international in Europe and looking for a German superstar. And in Germany, he was a name, but he didn't have any athletic ability, really. What was the reason you were told by WWE that you were not going to be used, and how were your interactions with Vince and Bruce? All right, so that was the question that I asked him. That was the first question I asked him. And here we go. So he said, "Let me give you some first." He said hi, and he said, let me give you first some background information regarding the signing with the WWF. The late Joe Weider brought me over from Germany to the United States in 1990 and gave me a contract for endorsing his products. I was competing as a professional bodybuilder and became friends with Ed Connors, former co-owner of Goat's Gym, Venice. Ed had a connection with the WWF, and after 6 years of competing in bodybuilding, he arranged a meeting between myself and Shane McMahon. I had no background in professional wrestling whatsoever. I didn't even watch it on TV. The meeting went well, and I flew to Connecticut to meet Vince. We came to an agreement, and I signed with the WWF in 1996. So, carrying that over to the question I asked, he said, Bruce is correct that Vince wanted to use me for the European market. Unfortunately, he is also correct that I had zero talent for professional wrestling. Despite, I think he meant to say despite many good people trying their best to give me insight into the wrestling world, and I think he meant insight, to give me insight into the wrestling world, it just didn't click. I wasn't surprised when I had a meeting with Bruce and was told that it doesn't work out. It was a business decision, I understand. They didn't get a return on their investment and let me go, plain and simple. Vince treated me well, and I had no problem with Bruce. All right. So my next question was, fans saw vignettes targeting current heels such as Vader and Triple H, but nothing came from it. What was the plan you were told regarding your WWE push? All right. He answered, the overall plan was to get me ready for the road and TV, which didn't happen. I have to say that Vince gave me plenty of time and opportunities to make it. All right. So my next question to him was, you were reportedly sent by WWE to ECW and had a short run there. Why were you sent to ECW? And how was Paul Heyman to work with? He says, I was sent to ECW, Memphis, and Calgary, all with the goal to give me more experience and practice. I had no problem with Paul Heyman. All right. Number 4, I asked him, you returned to the WWE in 1998 for a few appearances, including the Brawl for All tournament. What was your overall experience like during your second stint with the company? He answered, at that point, I pretty much knew it is not happening and that my contract will be terminated soon. All right. My last question to him was, what caused you to retire from pro wrestling and what are you up to nowadays? He says, I operate for almost 25 years, a successful personal training business, and I plan to retire in the near future. And he closed. He said, I would like to name a few people who supported me during my time with the WWF. Tom Pritchard, he oversaw the wrestling training. The Hart family and BJ Annis for the hospitality in Calgary. Davey Boy Smith for helping me out on the road. And Harry Del Rios for helping me out in Memphis. All right. So that was the interview between myself and Akeem. So that was fun.